Fucking come on then.
Don't act like a knob.
You're the one fucking pushing me.
Yes.
I know I'm on the pavement and I'm on here now and you still fucking pushed me.
What you just saw, that was only the beginning. What happens next completely changes the tone of this entire encounter. One civilian, two sergeants, and a camera that caught everything. Was this lawful use of force, or was it flat-out assault? Stay till the end, because what unfolds next, you won't believe.
Pardon?
We don't mind you filming, but you need to be off.
Who are you guys? Sergeant.
Come on.
Okay.
Then walk then.
There was no need to get physical. I'm walking away. You can stop touching me now because I'm walking away. You can stop touching me now.
Walking,
Sergeant 1096.
That's me.
I am walking away and you're still touching me.
You're not walking away though.
I am. Am I not walking? Is that not walking away?
Turn and face that way.
You're a fucking dickhead, mate. That's what you are.
Alright.
Fuck off. Tell me not to swear. I can swear over you if I want to. There's no need to fucking push me like that.
We've told you where the boundary is.
Yeah?
Get out.
And I'm walking back. Why the fuck are you pushing me like that for? You
Move
absolute
over there,
bellend.
Because of your attitude.
You're a
So move
bellend.
over there.
You're a
Get off
bellend.
the
Move
ramp.
over there, please.
You're a bellend.
For emergency vehicles, get off the ramp.
There's no yellow box here saying I can't block it. You're a bellend.
Move out the way.
I'm quite capable of moving out the way of vehicles by myself.
Move out the way.
When there's a vehicle coming, I will move out the way of the vehicle.
Vehicle coming. Move.
Yeah, it goes up left hand side, doesn't
Move
it?
out the way now.
We've told you where the boundary is.
Fucking come on then.
Don't act like a knob.
You're the one fucking pushing
there.
me.
Yes.
I know I'm on the pavement and I'm on here now and you
right.
still fucking
Stay
pushed
there,
me.
then.
You still fucking pushed me.
Right. Don't come on.
You're a fucking bellend.
Okay, whatever you say.
Who's your inspector? What's your collar number there?
1096.
Yours?
95, right, you've been
1995. I'm trying to read your collar number. You're a fucking bellend, both you. Sergeant's my fucking ass. You wait till your inspector gets hold of this. Fucking dickhead. Yeah, what if I just come back on now?
This is ground zero. The camera catches the exact moment physical contact begins. A sergeant's hands making contact with the auditor as he insists, again and again, that he's already walking away. Watch the body language here. He's not resisting, he's not advancing, he's retreating, and yet the pushing continues. The tension boils over into a war of words, insults flying both directions, and within seconds, he's demanding accountability, badge numbers, collar numbers, anything that can be used later. This is the spark that ignites everything that follows.
That's the sergeants of Peterborough. I'll walk away and they still fucking put hands on me. Absolute dickheads. So they're saying this is the boundary line apparently, despite the fact that their barriers are down there. You know, the level of de-escalation skills from two sergeants there was absolutely appalling. You would think that their training would be to a higher standard than that, but evidently it's not. Not bad stuff.
No, you're not asking who you are. I'm to identify myself from an officer. I'm in plain clothes today.
What's your collar number there?
1492, mate.
1493. You're based here, are you?
Yes, I am, mate.
Cool.
So just so you know, because
Is that
obviously
PC, DC, inspector?
I'm a normal PC.
PC, yeah.
I'm a PC.
Cool.
It's my colleague there.
No worries.
Yeah, obviously I can see you recording. Are you auditing or something like that?
Just taking some pictures and that. Is there an inspector on duty at the station today?
There'll be many inspectors inside.
Yeah.
With,
Well, I've just what I believe to be assaulted by two sergeants. So if you can get an inspector out, I'd love to report that to them. I'm happy to show them the footage.
The dust hasn't even settled, and already the auditor is processing what just happened out loud, calling out what he describes as an assault and questioning the training standards of two supervising officers. Notice the shift in tone. He's no longer reactive, He's strategic. Every word is now being chosen for the record. Moments later, a new officer arrives on scene, and the auditor wastes no time. He's already asking for an inspector. He wants this escalated, formally, immediately.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, so the reason why.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, there was nothing saying that it's private property, no unauthorised access or anything like that.
Of course, do you want? I'll talk plainly.
Yeah.
I won't muck
cool.
around. Okay. There are different people who audit and things like that.
Sure.
Sometimes people try and push buttons, right? So I'll just speak plainly.
Yeah, that's cool. No worries.
Open and honest. I get there's nothing there. Yeah, we've just got a simple barrier. There's no fencing there.
Yeah,
I do appreciate that. And let you know at the moment now, this is private property.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can appreciate we do have to keep areas secure, and secure as can be. It's not very secure without a fence there, but that's
Well, exactly. I mean, there's a big old footpath coming up from the grass verge there.
In fairness, I'd say you probably do know this is private property because it is a police station. Okay?
I mean, everything in the UK is private property, though, really, isn't it? In reality.
Well, in reality, yes, it's always owned by someone, the
Yeah.
Queen, the council, whatever, or individual.
Exactly.
But anyway, I'm not a civil lawyer and all that, so I'm not
Sure.
going to get into that. Can't really have you around here, if don't mind, okay? It's nothing because there's not hiding anything, but ultimately it's a working yard. There are vehicles that will fly out here responding to immediate
Sure.
things.
As soon as I hear blue light sirens, I'll be out of the way.
Yeah,
No, there's
but
no issue with
I
that.
can't have you here anyway because it is a secure area in the sense of the word, but albeit without a fence. And now I'm telling you that if I ask you to just go out there on the barrier, okay, there's a grass verge, you can walk up round there. You'll matter about saying you've been assaulted, you can report that and it will be looked into. If you've got video evidence, excellent.
Sure.
That's what I would say to anyone when I'm dealing with an incident. Video evidence is the best, alright? It's
Absolutely.
irrefutable.
Cool.
You're more than welcome to report that if you wish, okay? Best place to do.
Here's where the story gets murky. The new PC on scene tries to smooth things over, insisting there was never any signage marking this as private property. But the auditor isn't buying it, and he pushes back hard. Everything in the UK is private property. In reality, isn't it? It's a quiet but pointed exchange, each side testing the other's footing, both fully aware that this conversation could end up in a formal complaint.
It goes round to the front inquiry office, okay? Do it there. Is that okay?
Yeah, potentially. I might go around there at some point.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm waiting at the moment, so I'm going to get every single vehicle, private, personal, whatever it is, coming in and out.
That's
it's going to
fine.
be included on my footage.
But then if you could do that, could you do that from outside the private
I mean,
property?
to be fair, the sergeants actually said I was fine there. That's where they physically pushed me to. And even when I was on there, they continued to push me.
If you come, I'll show you. As far as I know, and again...
So the sergeants actually said that this sign here was the demarcation of the property, which clearly it's not, because it just says pedestrians use front entrance, that's exit.
Yeah, no, that'll obviously be for notifying people who want to come speak to us where to go.
Exactly.
Right?
So there's no demarcation. That's not demarcation of your boundary.
What I was going to say is normally I use the tree line. Okay, there is no physical line. There is no it's that imaginary line. There is going to be a line somewhere which denotes the property boundary. If the sergeant says it's here, I'm not going to argue. I would naturally say I think the tree line forms a kind of a natural barrier. But then fine,
really.
if the sergeant says that, I'm not going to argue.
But then the sergeant also saw me stood there on the very corner of the thing and said nothing either about it me being there. He was literally watching me from the window for a good 5 minutes.
Do you know the sergeant's name?
1096 and 1995 were their collar numbers.
Were they a response sergeant?
They came out of that building up there, whatever it is up there.
If you don't mind, if you just stay here with my colleague, I'm going to go and speak to the sergeant up there and make sure that that's correct, that he's told me where to, he's told you to stand. Yeah. Because, like I say, I normally use the tree line because it kind of makes a natural barrier. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I understand that it does create a sort of natural barrier, but unless you have...
The boundary dispute deepens. The auditor lays out exactly where he was standing when the sergeants first made contact and points out the glaring inconsistency. The sign they're using to justify the boundary doesn't actually say what they claim it says. It simply directs pedestrians to the front entrance. Nothing about restricted access. Nothing about private property. The gap between what was said in the heat of the moment and what's actually written down is starting to show, and it's damning.
needs to show me where the boundary is, and there's nothing to stop me accessing. There's nothing to say where your property starts and where it ends.
No,
so
but-
there's nowhere for you to realistically say,
Well,
this is our property, you can't be stand
I
here, you
kind
can
of
only
disagree
stand
with
here.
you, but let's try and work together and be reasonable, because
I mean,
at the end of the day,
yeah, you are being reasonable, and I do
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah.
But because of the behaviour of your sergeant, I'm not going to be reasonable with you, and I'm not saying I'm going to be rude to you. But in terms of negotiating where I can and cannot stand,
Right.
I'm not going to negotiate that with you
Okay,
based on their behaviour.
I understand
not
that,
on
and I
yours,
understand
and I
your
want you to
reasoning.
understand that.
Then, so I'm upfront and clear with you, just so I am fair
Mm-hmm.
with you. Okay, I'm going to go and clarify that. All right, and if they've said, wherever, I will have to enforce a level of, like, if we say this is where the barrier is, I'll have to ask you to stand
Okay.
on the other side of that.
Okay, and if you force me to move physically to a place, I will check where your boundary is with the local council, and if you have moved me to a place that you have no right to move me physically, you will be liable for reprimand under that. I will be filing. They're already getting complaints of it, IOPC.
you can-
And until you're 100% sure where your boundary is, regardless of what your sergeant says, because unless they can prove where your boundary is, you can't move somebody physically.
and
You
that's
can't.
why I'm trying to be
you know,
reasonable, okay?
if
So they
you
might
can't-
know.
if you-
Just let my colleague
And that,
double
like I say,
check and we'll
that-
come back.
yeah,
and
and
Yeah.
I totally get your point, all right, and that's why I'm going to go and do everything I can and try and check
Mm-hmm.
with them, okay? I get what you're saying there, and like I say, all I'm asking is to try and be reasonable, meet each other.
And again, and I'm saying it's not because of you, because you have been reasonable,
Okay.
but because of them, I'm not
Just
negotiating.
bear with me, all right?
I don't
okay?
negotiate with assholes.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm not
Like,
saying that to you about them.
At the end of the day, mate, as
But-
well. Again, I can't speak for them. I don't
Oh.
know. Like I say, the best way I reason it is, we get ourselves in every walk of life, all right?
Yeah, but you have a higher expectation with the police force. I mean, you.
Now we watch real accountability start to take shape. The PC agrees to go verify the story directly with the sergeants involved. But the auditor isn't letting him off easy. He lays down a warning. If he's moved to a location without a clearly defined boundary, that officer will be personally liable. The word EOPS enters the conversation. This is no longer a heated disagreement. This is now officially a complaint in the making.
You guys
There
deal with
is an
very
expectation
vulnerable
for
members
men-
of the public,
No,
and
absolutely.
you shouldn't have
No,
the levels of that
absolutely,
assholeness in your
absolutely.
force.
However, and then part of that is being professional. But also,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we deal with a lot of things. Okay, we have to deal with, and not often we are meeting people who don't want to listen to us, who don't want to deal with us, even if they're trying to be reasonable. And you don't know what they've dealt with. They might have dealt with a various.
But they don't know what I've dealt with either, and that's the thing. But then the way they come out to me,
Absolutely.
they came out to
Well-
me and they asked me to move. I said, I'm just getting some shots of these vehicles. They watched me stand, they stood there, watched me get shots of the vehicles. Then they come down the stairs, and without further conversation, one sergeant literally just started pushing me. I started walking back. As soon as I start walking to where he wants me to walk, whether I'm walking backwards or forwards, the physical contact is no longer needed. I am moving. He continues to put hands on me and push me. He gets me to there, physically shoves me. The other sergeant gets hands on. Then I get to here, physically shoves me, tells me to move out the road. You have no jurisdiction to move me out the road. Tells me to move here, shoves me here. Once I'm on here, he continues to shove me. That's not acceptable.
I wasn't there.
No, you weren't.
I
but that's
wasn't there, so
but like I said, I'm not going to lie about it because it's all on
No,
camera.
no, that's- yeah. So
You
it's
know,
on
so there's no
video,
point.
right? But then, at the end of the day, they do have powers, okay, and it's down to them to justify it. There is powers that the police have to move people out of roads and remove people from private property, as other people, civilians, can remove people from private property. I'll go and check with them. Okay, so give us 2 secs.
Oh dear. So what's your collar number, sorry?
879.
879, thank you. Just so I know who I've spoken to.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Like I said, it's nothing to do with you two because, you know, he has been
Yeah,
civil and been
well-
polite, but just the way that, you know, I understand trespassing, you have the right to use reasonable force.
Yeah.
Reasonable force.
You know, we have to just challenge if we
Yeah.
see someone who's not in police.
To be fair,
uniform.
I've seen like, I've had probably about 20 vehicles coming in and out, people walking around to see me here. You're actually the first person other than the sergeant.
This is the moment the auditor raises the stakes of the entire argument. He reminds the officer that police carry a higher standard of expectation than the average person, because of who they serve, because of the vulnerable people they interact with daily. And then, the gut punch. He replays, moment by moment, exactly how the shove escalated, how he kept moving, and how the contact never stopped. It's methodical, it's damning, and it's all been recorded.
That have actually interacted with
Yeah.
me.
What's your main reason for coming here today, anyway?
To take videos and footage and that
Okay.
really.
Is that
But-
because do you like the police force?
That's just
or-
what I do. It's just matters of public interest. You know, we're public pay for the force, and pay for the vehicles, the site, the staffing.
Yeah.
We like to come and have a look, really.
Okay, fair enough.
Like to show people what we pay for.
And who did you work for?
Pardon?
Who did you work for?
Independent.
Independent.
Yeah, yeah. Not the independent, I'm independent. Yeah. Don't want to be done for like libel or anything like that, saying I work for somebody I don't. But yeah, I mean, reasonable force is justifiable if they come to me and they got into come up to me like you guys have, and then you started putting your hand towards me and I refuse to move, then make contact. As soon as I start moving, that physical contact is no longer needed until I stop again.
Yeah.
And then to continue to push me and shove me.
We don't know exactly what's happened, you know.
But no, it's not a subjective thing though. It's reasonable force is reasonable force. There's nothing reasonable. If somebody's walking away and walking to where you want them to walk, you don't need to push them and shove them. There's no need for that.
That's true.
There you go. Got that on camera. That's true.
True. But like
There
I
you
said,
go.
we went there. We don't know what's
No.
going on.
But it's funny because the PC pulls up, sees the sergeants doing it, and does fuck all about it. You know, I find that disgraceful as well. That other constables won't step in when they see their colleagues doing things that are over what they should be doing.
So you're based in Peterborough as well?
I don't give out where I'm from or anything like that.
Fair enough.
Now we get context, and it makes the earlier scenes hit even harder. In this stretch, the conversation turns to the legal concept of reasonable force, with the auditor making his case point by point. Force is only justified while resistance exists. The second he began moving, that justification evaporated. And then comes a line that lands like a gut check. Other officers stood by and watched their colleagues cross the line and said nothing.
You can tell I've travelled. I wouldn't be walking around day to day in like this in this weather. I've obviously travelled in the.
I don't know.
But
I don't know who you are.
it's true.
Yo, how are you doing? You're right. So yeah, the sergeant has said that he's told you, and he is saying like, so the grass verge, not onto the road, please, and no further past this blue sign. Is that okay?
Maybe.
Okay. On that then, all right, I hear you saying maybe. At the moment, I'll leave you here. All right. Please don't do that. All right. Got no problem with you filming in public, saying that's public. Okay. Got to understand that's a working yard. There's also sensitive information. There's people here, whether victims or suspects, that we can't have you going and seeing. Normal as a member of the public, that is private. Okay, please stay here.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, again, for you to raise with your higher ups, I would strongly suggest you get a more physical barrier, fencing.
I 100% agree, but then
Yeah.
the police, what are they keeping out? They're putting fences up, and that's at the lovely
No,
taxpayers' expense.
No,
that's the
I agree with
but
fences being around these
but
places.
that's the truth of it. No, to be fair, I think it should, because
Yeah.
then it denotes it, all right? But I'm now telling you, mate, so that's pretty clear. The sergeants also echoed that, so you know, yeah? So you're saying maybe, but then if you then go past that maybe, that's you willfully then.
Trespass.
A second sergeant now enters the picture and immediately draws a new boundary line, right down to a specific blue sign. But listen closely to the language. Maybe. Not a firm rule, not a clear directive. A vague, non-committal warning that leaves the auditor and the viewer questioning whether this boundary is being invented in real time.
I get that you've had like
Yeah.
issues with them, okay?
Yeah.
But then that's for your complaint, mate. Do me a favour, yeah? Because we were going off to do something again.
Yeah.
We've got
As I was saying to your
we've got to
colleague
stop
here.
and engage and challenge.
But as I was saying to your
that
colleague, you're
direction.
actually other than the sergeants, because I went to where those vehicles are over there, you're actually the first people that have actually stopped and engaged with me, and I've been stood here nearly an
Then
hour.
that's bad officers, because they should, okay? But look, we're busy, we're human, we make mistakes, okay? Just like everyone else. Please don't
But
do
that's
that.
like I said, a surgeon accidentally killing somebody, say, people make mistakes, we're human. There's that room for error
But
is
then
not.
this is a conversation about someone standing
Yeah.
on a road or a grass barrier, not me doing heart
Yeah.
surgery. Okay?
Yeah, but
I
the
get
room
your
for error
argument.
isn't there in the
Of course it
police.
is, and we should make errors and we should learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
As should everyone, okay?
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is. Please don't willfully do that. If they do, then they might have to look at, I don't know, anything.
There's nothing they can get me. It's a civil issue, isn't it?
Because okay, well, number one, okay, right, I'll just say this. wasting police time. So
I'm not wasting your time. I'm not forcing you to stop.
Hang on. Let me just say it, and then I'm going to go. All right. This is for your benefit because I don't want to see you get arrested, and I think it probably even that then further would be a waste of our time. But we will have to take an action, all right, by doing something that causes an officer to then kind of go out of the way and waste their time doing it, and would have to engage with you and say, mate, don't stand here and have another 5, 10 minute, 15 conversation with you. That's them wasting our time, okay? So there it is, it's ticking those boxes. I don't think it would come to that, but it's just something we might have to do. Please just be reasonable, film the cars, whatever, alright? Just stay where you are, yeah? Please?
Maybe.
I'll leave it at that. Dude, just don't. Just be sensible.
Maybe. Maybe.
And here's where it all comes to a head. Threats of wasting police time are floated. The word trespassing gets thrown into the mix, but the auditor holds his ground, calmly dismantling each warning as it comes. By the end of this exchange, one thing is undeniable. This entire standoff, from the very first shove to this final warning, exists entirely because of how the first 60 seconds were handled. And now, it's all on camera, forever.